Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Land dips his little toesies in the chess water again. Let's play some puzzles here, okay? Let's see if we can get a little higher. I think we were 1292 last time. We will play some actual chess, but for the moment, I wanna get my sea legs back. I wanna do some little kata. You know what I mean? A little practice first. So you've moved here to here. My hunch is you take the free piece. Look at that. That's a 100 rating right there. Easy money. My hunch, you get the easy checkmate. Checkmate, undefeated. My hunch on this one, I'm scared. This is like a 200 difficulty puzzle, which is not hard at all. But I'm like, where do we go? I feel like you always are going to take the knight. Okay, fair enough. And you know what? That's a terrible move on your part. All disrespect intended. Okay, now we're getting into the touchy stuff. Now we're getting into the tricky stuff. Just kidding. That's checkmate right there. Hit you with one of these real quick. Okay. Now, white to move. This is a spicy game. White to move. Where would I go with this? Honestly, we push the pawn. You move down here. We put you in ye old checkmate. 6 puzzles down in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Now we're talking. White to move. This one, you're going to laugh. This one's a little touchier. Only because the king is kind of sprung. Like, for example, if we can you do, like, pretend moves in this? Can you, like, draw on the board? Because I can see like 2 moves ahead, which is not very good, but I worry that when I go this to here and this to here, people that don't play a lot of chess are like, I don't understand what you're talking about, but maybe I'm flattering myself. So we can put you in check, which seems like honestly one of the only moves we've got right now. But then you would just go here, at which point, you know what? This is actually good, because at which point we would go here, protected by the bishop. We would take your knight easily. Okay. This one, white to move. This is a kind of a classic setup. You do the long distance check, followed by checkmate. They're going to be upset about that one. They had a big piece advantage. All right, white to move. Now this is one where I think you have to be careful, because the right move is not necessarily that different from the best move. Like, surely that's your move. Okay. I thought maybe there was a cheeky checkmate or something. So my hunch here is that you move queen to f7. By moving queen to f7, you force the king to move here. When the king moves here, you simply capture the bishop, and then the game is over. 10 in a row. Not so bad. The easy play here is your e1 rook. You want to move that to g1. But I do question what happens after that. Because they will presumably queen. Oh, but then you would just capture with your rook. That's what would happen after that. That's very good. Again, sometimes a little guilty of overthinking things. This, to me, I want to call it an underthink. All right, and then you capture that. Okay, we're good. I wanted to be freed from that one. It seemed more complicated than it was, probably, but... All right, with you being threatened here, this now becomes a more complicated situation, wouldn't you say? To me, this looks complicated. Is it complicated at all? Why wouldn't you just move the knight backwards? That hurt me, because I feel like we should have gotten that one. I wouldn't necessarily say I outthought myself. But you know what? We still got 2 strikes to play with here. What do we want to do? What do we want to do here? We're guilty of going a little too fast. Let's caffeinate. We have solved 12 puzzles in 4 minutes. That's, you know, there's no need to go at such a prodigious speed. I would say that your best move is probably using your queen to capture this hanging pawn right here. At which point, what happens? Probably you move here or here. We capture your knight and face no consequence. Let's go. We capture your knight and face no consequence. Black to move. Oh, there's some killer plays here. Check this out. You love it? That's just beautiful. That's a beautiful move right there. That's why they call chess the beautiful game. You might think, and this is one where I'm careful about my comedic timing. If we capture the knight, it's grand. However, this capture right here puts us in a terrible position. Because it would mean that we're going to be in check, and our rook will be forked, essentially, between the king and itself. So, the real meat and potatoes of this run, or of this move right here, I honestly, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know. I feel like I would... I'm just thinking. Is there a way to sucker him? Like, what if we could get him to capture? Sure, he takes our rook, but then we put him in check by moving this bishop so that we get the queen for free. That seems like the cheeky way out of this one for me. So you move this to there. This capture, it's weird. It seems like a trap to do this capture, but then not doing it also seems like a trap. Oh, you know what? We're actually totally fine. You just, I again, outthought myself. The rook's protected by the queen. That's why you would think, like, oh, like as a novice or intermediate level chess player, you spend all your time trying to think up like 25 move sequences and variations, and if they do this, then we'll pivot into the Najdorf line. No, it's not really like that. It's a lot of, oh, don't do that move that you spend 5 minutes thinking about, because it turns out that you'll lose the game as a result. Okay, white to move. Remember, you don't need to be clever. We love this. Why? You take that. Oh, no, we would have... Their rook was unprotected at the back. All right, we're 17 puzzles deep, 1 strike. No big deal. We are in a spicy spot. We do not wish to capture this, I believe, because it will leave you... it'll leave our queen unprotected. So the only other move I would probably think of then is we want to put you in check. Otherwise, you get a little too much tempo on us. At least that's the word I'm going to choose to use, whether that's the real word or not. Now, what does putting you in check accomplish? Now, that's the million-dollar question. I think the answer is not much. So, it was the right move. The next thing would definitely be like this, I think. Or alternatively, we could... Is this mate? Or could it be mate? Or could it be mate? I mean, this seems to simplify the game. I should have gone with my instincts. That was a situation where no matter what you did, you were feeling pretty good, though. I think. Now, this one's throwing me for a bit of a loop, honestly. Already, I immediately do not see a play that I really like. Actually, never mind, I totally do. You just do that and that. All right. Give me a good reason not to capture that queen. Well, if we capture the queen, we get mated. That's pretty bad. I would say it's amongst the worst possible options. Do we capture... Okay, hold on. There's a better play. You capture the rook. Then you capture the queen. I didn't see that one coming. I'm just going to be honest, but that's okay. And then you... there you go. All right, move 19. Still moving forward, or puzzle 19, I should say. White to move, 1 strike remains. I mean, the fork is, like, always going to be pretty decent. But where are you going to move after the fork? You're going to move here. At which point we're going to pin you. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful play. All right. 20. I think we got 21 before. This is puzzle 20. So we're trying to use our noggin for certain. This is a more complicated kind of like endgame scenario. And I'm not talking about Thanos. It can't be as easy as just... Well, you know what? Actually, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I think it is as easy as capturing. But then what... Because really, like, to be honest, again, my chess skills are very rusty. What is going to decide the game at this point, this is kind of like already no man's land. You can't really do much over here. It's pretty locked up. This is an open area that's going to pretty much decide everything. So if you move this to here, would we then go... This is busted, dude. I don't think this is the right play, but just hear me out. Then I think you challenge with this pawn, which seems backwards because you lose it for free, but it does build you the space necessary to... So here's my thinking, all right? You move this forward, they take. They probably won't move forward. They take. You move your king here. Actually, you don't even have to move your king there. You could just challenge this pawn, and then you've got a 2-to-1 advantage closer to the end. Yeah, so this seems right to me. At this point, I would capture the pawn. Okay. So that again, that one was a little trickier, but I'm happy we got it. We had to think our way through it. Certainly what you do not do in this one is promote to a queen. That's not your play. You need to find a way to challenge this. Okay, here's what you do. You check, and then you do this. Then we get a queen. All right, so I think we're officially at a new PB, a new personnel best. Let's think about this one. It's contested in there. There's mate opportunities, for sure. The only question is how we do it. We definitely don't wish to capture the bishop with our queen. That's a terrible play. Do we wish to capture the bishop with our knight? Let's see. There's a couple of different ways you could move from that one. If you move the queen here, what do? I don't think I have a great answer for that, which makes me think it's probably not the right move. There's multitudes of ways we could also put you in check. Like, I mean, we could do that. Knight to f3, but it's not a good move, I think. It doesn't really accomplish anything. This is one where you got to be shouting at the screen, right? We have to put you in check, or we have to move our queen, or we have to capture the bishop. So I think you capture the bishop. It just seems like the guaranteed play. Now there's got to be something cheeky from this point onward, right? Probably something like this check, and then you do get the cap with the rook instead. And we're setting new records here, new PBs. Feels good, dude. Feels good. Feels good. It's an okay position, for sure. Like bishop to check here forces you to move here or here or here. Either way, it doesn't feel like we get mate, but that does seem like the best move. That scared me. And then what follows that is the interesting question. I would say, and this could be wrong, but I would say you put queen here to try to threaten this piece. And either way, there you go. So you see, we're getting to that elo right now where we're not just getting checkmate. You know, we're trying to get pieces as well. You know, or any kind of advantage. So I think we have to. I think we have to capture here. Oh, you know what? There you go. That's good moves. Dude, we're up to 25. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. So, what's our goal here? Goal for certain is threaten. Like, this is worse than check. If we can put ourselves one move away from a queen, is great stuff. But then the flip side is like, where are you going to go after that to try to stop me? You're probably going to move king to here. At which point, we can do this, put you in check and take your rook. We'll lose out on this pawn and our knight, but by taking out that rook, our endgame will be simplified. Never mind. You know what? That's still pretty good, though. So this is the one that's going to burn me up because it was so early on. Okay, so let's solve it. Is this really the one we were on? I feel like I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. This doesn't look right anymore. Puzzle rating 781, pass rate 69%. This, see, I think I'm clicking the wrong button. Look, I'm not a smart man, okay? I don't want to solve puzzles. I want to solve this puzzle. Okay. I don't see, they're all different. Anyway, whatever. 25 is pretty good. Let's send it one more time, okay? Then maybe in the next video we'll start playing some like 10-minute aside blitz chess. I don't know if that's blitz or speed, or it's been a while since I was part of the game, you know? This is 200, easy. Capture. I mean, these, or what was 156? It's not even 200. It's the easiest money ever made. Go quick. Go quick. White to move. Certainly seems like you would just do that. I mean, honestly, you can get like a 300 elo in the puzzle part of this game by just dragging your queen to the back row. Or in some, well, no, that's, it's the exact same thing over and over. Okay. All right, so we made it through the early game. To me, this is simple. You want to pin the queen to the king. All right. Six puzzles deep in like 40 seconds. Not trying to flex. Couple different ways you could do this. This check seems good. It forces you to move here. After moving there, what do we do? Just put you in check here. Oh, I didn't expect that. Didn't expect you to just trade with me. But that, I mean, I'm assuming that the puzzles make the opponent do the best possible move. It's not like you're capitalizing on blunders. So anytime I'm like, why would the AI do that? You just have to acknowledge that it was really like, I'm the idiot in the first place. Because I got the move wrong. Unless I'm insane, queen to c6 seems like checkmate to me. You can move the bishop here, at which point we capture it. Okay, good enough. This one is the kind of one that'll burn you up, right? Because you don't want to leave this open, but you're also like, something's got to give here. Like, this to me seems sensible. On the other hand, putting your knight here, but then you gotta move your... It's like, I would just do this. In a real game where I didn't have time to think, I would do this. Lucky. It wasn't clever enough to be right, okay? That's the... I was definitely heavily overthinking it. I honestly did not think there would be another move after this. Probably something like this. Dude, that was like a 7-move sequence. That's crazy. Who do you think I am, Magnus Carlsen? The knight is under threat. Again, this one's got me thinking, you know, it's like a little messed up. But a basic chess principle, you... hold on. I might be insane, but I like this. Yeah. Screws up their king side and gives us access to the bishop. What I was going to say is, just because a piece of yours is under threat, you can get out of it in a variety of ways. You could move the piece, but you could also put a greater piece of theirs under threat, which might force them to move that piece faster. Okay. What would you do in this situation? Your queen is under threat. Can't take anything. I mean, you could, but you probably would prefer not to. You could move your queen here. Is that really valuable? I don't think so. Is there a way that you could make them regret this decision? This one has got me, dude. This one's got me thinking, which means I should probably just take a step back because this is like 700 elo. Take a step back and just relax. You definitely, unless there's something super cheeky, you don't want to give up the opportunity to be down here, but you also don't want to give up your queen for a rook, but you also don't want to leave this pawn hanging. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know, maybe here to here. But that it's not cheeky enough. I must be missing something. Well, okay, here's the other move that's cheekier. You capture this pawn with your rook on b7. If they take your queen, so be it. They get a queen, you get a pawn and a queen, and also you put them in check. They move their rook back, you take it. Okay, so that's mate. So I think we like that. All right. That's why it's good to think things over, I suppose. Never worked for me in any other avenue of my life, but this one, I see no option that's not this. So you definitely start there. We are on 12 in a row, which I think is a PB for us. This is you move this forward. It threatens the bishop, but it also threatens the rook along this file right here, or along this diagonal, I should say. Definitely capture. Definitely capture. Okay, so these are not the best moves. They're throwing good money after bad. All right, 13 puzzles in a row. Our bishop is under threat. It's a very simple move. We put him in check, and then we capture this bishop. Okay. It's an interesting one, huh? It's an interesting one. I feel like this bishop, or this rook is pinned to the king. As a result, it cannot move. So, I think you capture and then pin the queen, and you've come out way ahead as a result. All right, 15 puzzles in a row. Starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that 1,700 times yet or not. No idea. No idea where to go on this one for now. A couple of things come to mind. Finding a way to threaten the queen is a way. Finding a way to check is a way, but there is no way to check except this, which is horrible for a variety of different reasons. I like this, okay? Hear me out here. Now the queen is pinned. What do you do from this point onward? I hadn't thought about it. Capture the queen. Okay, 16 puzzles in a row. Pretty impressed with myself. This is a bit of a weird one for certain. I think the typical play, as strange as it may sound, is you actually sack your queen to force a situation where the rook takes it, and then you get a queen anyway, which creates like an instant checkmate. I mean, not instant. You got to go through a couple sequences, but you know what I mean. So this one, with 17 moves in a row and my confidence at an all-time high, I definitely like this check right here, followed by probably a move to here. Maybe I don't like it. Maybe we prefer this. No, that check is no good. Your check's going to bounce here. I think you start here. Oh! That's all right. We got 17 in a row. I'm feeling good. With black to move. Certainly, we're going to swap. I mean, this is a win. You put the king in check. That still would have won. It might not be the right move, but it still would have won. Okay, don't throw the whole run away. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about this one. 17 in a row and then 3 wrong in a row is embarrassing. We're going to get back, okay? We're going to get back. Again, I would like to say, Just because of the situation, like we didn't make the right move, that doesn't mean if we were in that situation in game, we would lose. We may have just made a slightly suboptimal move that wasn't exactly the best, which is still bad. You always want to make the best move, but rest in peace. Okay, black to move. Bit of a spicier situation. We want to find a way, essentially. I know what we want to do. We want to put you in check like this, and then fork these two pieces. Now we win. All right. 7 in a row. It's got to be this, right? We're going too fast. I can't say. I can't stop. I'm emotional, okay? We'll take it. I'm embarrassed with my previous performance. It's an embarrassing situation. I feel like on this one, there's a variety of good moves, but I think you do this, which then forces a trade, which is where a head is good, and also gives us that bishop. This one, you got to take the piece, put him in a check. Some of the simplest money ever made. What do you do from this point onward? Now we're getting a little bit more interesting. You take this piece and you keep the check going. Okay. I mean, come on. Are you even trying? Obviously, we're gonna pin your queen. I disagree. I disagree with that. I don't care if Gary Kasparov himself says that that's the way it's supposed to go. He's incorrect. Okay, 13 in a row. What do we just got 17. So we're going to try to top that. It's a weird one. This is a very strange one. Something's not right. I think you do this. That's not a normal situation. Which I think is why I was able to suss it out quickly, because I'm not a normal individual. Definitely, you like this check the most. And then that's checkmate. All right, 15. We're getting, we're starting to feel less like we've embarrassed ourselves. So that's something. What would you do here? There's no check that I can see. So there must be something a little cheekier. Wait, no, there's a problem. Mate is threatened on us. See, I think these puzzles put you in the mindset of, like, always being on the attack and not worrying about the defense here. So how do we get out of this one? Well, our rook is also threatened. So there's got to be a way to get two birds stoned at once. Honestly, I think you capture this. And then you fork the pieces. And look at that. Okay. Glad we thought that one through. So initially, my first thought is let's simplify this whole situation, right? Let's capture this, which forces the queen into a weird spot where it's going to take. Then maybe you swap pawns at that point, but then, I don't know. I don't love it. At least it's not clever. You could just threaten the bishop. How does that work? Pawn, pawn, then the bishop's still stuck. I think you do that, yeah. It leaves you a piece ahead in the end. You've captured my queen. All right. Checkmate then. All right, we made it to 18. So we've in like 3 minutes or something, we've improved upon where we were at before. I'm proud of myself. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's got gaps in their knowledge. Everybody, you do dumb things from time to time. So I'm not going to beat myself up over it too much. Certainly this, I don't think it's a check situation. I don't think you capture that. So what the heck do you do? What the heck do you do? Yeah, I don't have a good answer for you. There's got to be a way for us to apply some leverage here. The problem is, if we don't threaten, then the other side gets to take control. I'm just going to admit it to you. I'm stumped here. I must be tunnel visioning on something that I'm not seeing properly. Oh, I think I'm very dumb. You capture and then you just take the bishop. Okay. See, I'm guilty of looking for the the quick fix. I'm just thinking. I apologize, but I'm just thinking. The thinky? So it's something like we like the check with the rook. It forces them onto the H rank or file. I never remember which one's which. But then what do you do from there? You know, you have a check. You could do this, but then that doesn't really seem to gain you anything at the end of the day. Could you do perhaps this instead, which allows you to take the piece? Yeah, that's way smarter. Okay. So we're 20 moves in, starting to feel a little bit more respectable at least. I think there's two ways to do this. Either you capture the bishop first, or you capture the knight first to move the king away from the rook, or you capture the rooks first to move the king away from the knight. I would rather capture the knight first. All right, another one in the books. White pieces move here. Kind of a gimme, right? 22. I forget what our high is. It's like 27 or something. Black pieces move. This is requiring a little bit more rigorous analysis here. All the white pieces except the queen are protected. So there is an element of me right now that's like, we got to find a way to maybe use our bishop or queen to threaten the enemy queen. But I don't really know. Don't really know, honestly. I don't have a good move for this one yet. I can't believe we only have one strike, though. That's pretty sick. Like, we have, in my opinion, some tempo. What could we threaten? Well, the juiciest target to me is this, like, C2 pawn right here, which we could do that pretty easily. But it's it's a weird slow move. It doesn't, to me, move the needle too much. If we wanted to, we could also try to apply some pressure maybe to the G2 pawn. But again, these are things that don't happen in like a single move. Had a feeling that would be wrong. I think I just missed something obvious on that. All right, the white pieces are moving here. This is a horrible situation. All right, so what do you do here? The only winning move is to resign. We actually can create a mate, I think. If we move forward... I thought if we move forward, they come down here probably, and then we put you in checkmate. I guess that's not the play, though. Excellent, though. Hey, excellent. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Maybe we'll try to play some speed chess in the next episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please do click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your support on the Weird Chess series, and I'll see you next time. See ya!